In my estimation, this story starts April 2013. Mid to late morning, just a small amount of snow still on the ground, only in the shadows. I ventured into Bethel Gilead for the very first time and met my dear late friend, Carl Russell. How it began was I was interviewing for an internship with the only person that was using horses that bothered to take the time out of their day to talk to me. I remember it not feeling like it was going to be a thing at the time, but that has a lot to do with me. I left certainly considering the idea that it wasn't going to be the right fit and that I wasn't coming back. Luckily for me, that wasn't the case, and it started a decade-long friendship and growth that changed my life and altered my compass significantly and for the better. I certainly am not going to try and capture all of the things that I could capture and history and stories related to Carl that I've learned during his life, that I knew him, and after his passing in the last year. The voice clip that I want to share in this story is from 2014, March. I think it was about March 19th. Senior project at Sterling College. I had been doing a log job after my internship with Carl. I had known him for a year, and he came out in that snowy day and he spoke to the group for me, with me, and spoke to me. And I happened to have a microphone in my pocket because I wanted to capture it. And I'm lucky that I did, because he said something that I think relates deeply to what exactly he was trying to convey to me. Well, we watched this clip of Carl cutting, which, as far as I know, is the only one that I've seen that he's actively going through the directional felling, plunging movements with the tree. Fucking A, that guy was smooth. You see how that his curve come out exactly at the same level on the other side. He didn't take any time to measure, look at, balance his bar, or anything. And he knew that tree was going. And he walked backwards over a fucking log that he knew where it was, while never taking his eyes off the stump.
It's in its early stages, and I'd like to invite Carl to say a few words about that.
Well, you did a great job, John. I think you pretty well explained the whole thing. The main emphasis that we're trying to focus on is that there's a lot of people who are interested in ecological integrity and forest management. It's well known. A lot of people recognize the value. And because of that, there's an interest in live power draft animals. So a lot of people have an assumption that if you drag logs with horses, that somehow it's environmentally sensitive. And to some degree it is, but when you start interfacing with a biological system like the forest, you can drag logs with horses and do an awful lot of impact on the ecosystem. So it's the next step of what John's talking about, the craftsmanship. Understanding the biological system you're working with and utilizing the animals to enhance the opportunity to really do a high quality forestry operation. And because of that, it's a backstory, so to speak, of adding value to the lumber that's sold on the other end. And I'm in the process of trying to draw together, practitioners from all over New England. And as John says, we cover a lot of territory, but we're talking 10 or 20. But there are quite a few people who are using horses and oxen in the Northeast who recognize that we're already committed to doing a better job in terms of forestry. So here's a great opportunity to gather together around some standards that help to define that. So that the people who are doing the work can approach landowners and say, yeah, well, the logs are one product, but here's another product. I'm going to provide you with a residual stand that's going to...
Setting the scene, we're headed up the trail with the horses. You hear Carl talking in the background, and me and Rick start conversing about how to get animals turned around.
If you can turn them around, I'd feel better about turning them around right here. That's fine. Move the shovels in this hard hat and I'll try it.
I have fundamental principles of forest management that I'm going to practice here. They would have to change the economics, which generally done in the game for all other mechanical operators. And they'd have to say, I can't pay $100 a thousand for that stumper because I'm going to actually leave value in the wood to changing logging from an income generator to an investment opportunity. You're investing workmanship to increase productivity.
The challenge is for the horses is you can turn them around like straight. Like everything behind them, we'll kind of see how that goes. But I always like to challenge people as well as horses, find where their comfort level is, and I use this educational theory that I've kind of dealt with. It's like a expansion and contraction idea. You expand into the uncomfortable, and then you contract back to where it's comfortable and learn, and then you can expand farther out into the unknown universe again. You keep growing and growing and growing. So we're going to expand the universe. See if we can get them into here and back up and work in a pretty tight space. Alright, John may have to get off the cart to eliminate a little bit of mass back there on those gears. We'll block the fire.
In case it's not clear, we're all crammed into a little tiny landing near a lean-to shed where we had tie stalls that I had scabbed together quickly for horses, and we were turning around what I had skidded with a single horse earlier. We were twitching out to the landing with the team, and we were turning the Pioneer cart with a 17-foot pole around in this space, and it was tight, deep snow, people, tons of people, tricky, and I had my opinion, and Rick had his opinion, and we got mixed up in our communication, and the product is the product.
Oh, you didn't miss it. I would have gone up. Oh, who said? No, that's not. Tucker, step. Not what you said. Yeah. No. I know. That's what I was. Yeah, I went like this for him, and I think he thought I meant head in and out. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna put him in there.
In a moment, Carl had that way about providing subtle encouragement in profound Yankee-ass statements. and it was the best thing for me.
Actually, you pay more attention to what you're thinking than what you think your teacher's doing.
August 16th of the same year, Carl sent me a Facebook comment, let's call it. And not until later did I know that it made its way into his life's work collection of poetry. But he titled a poem, Of Their Personal Denial. And it makes me believe even more deeply in what he believed in that moment when he said, you need to pay attention to what you're thinking rather than what you think your teacher's thinking. He knew that my intuition and my skill set was enough. I didn't need anything else. And I have spent my entire life denying the fact that that's true. And now I don't have him to remind me. So I have to hold on to these moments and hold on to these thoughts and hold on to these messages that he's left behind. And my biological father's left behind, and my mother's given me, and my friends today give me. Like, it's not like I don't know it. But to read this poem in a book of his poetry and see that title for the first time, Of Their Personal Denial. There is no doubt, Mr. Jones, that the sound of a Mulborg slicing through soil, muffled footsteps in cadence of 8, and the odorous medley of horse sweat and freshly turned earth, complementing the physical connection to living power, moving in unison to your silent command, will touch something deep inside. Bank that. It is the value that will support you as you leave the readers and the bean counters in the dust. For John Smolinski Jones.